Okay, here we have the Healed number 22 horizontal spindle rotary table grinder. We'll walk over to it. First thing is we're going to look at the electrical box. Basically it's real easy. You make sure that this is in the off position. Lift up on that little guy there, and she will just pull right open. Okay, looking at this, we have it looks like they have updated some things here in the electrical. We have a new square D size 0 magnetic starter. Put a new table drive in here for the variable frequency drive on the table, which has been updated. No longer has the old belt system that runs it. Over here it looks like they put a new lighting transformer in, and then it looks like they put the remote in for the table drive right there. And then moving on over, we move over to the large electric motor, 5 horsepower, dual voltage, 220, 440 volt. As you can see, they ran new wires down. Everything looks nice and clean. I'm running actually 462 volt here. The motor actually calls for, looks like 440, yep, 440 or 220, depending upon how you have everything wired. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move around to the electrical box for the magnetic chuck. There's the electrical box, nice and clean. I don't know what all the extra hardware was for, but it's in there. We're going to move back around to the front of the machine. First, I'm going to turn the power on. So now with power on, we can access the magnetic chuck. I am turning power on to the magnetic chuck. She turns on. All right, so see how it says select, 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 select. So I'm just going to start, well, before I hit it, I'm just going to show you everything's nice and loosey-goosey. So here we go. I'm just going to hit full. All right, I'm coming up here. Oh. All right, so that's there. So I'm going to come back down. We're going to hit the residual. And that makes the chuck release. Back to nice and loosey-goosey. And then if you want, do a, what do you call it? I believe it's a demagnetization process. You hit the red button, and this takes a couple minutes. It goes through a process, and if you look, you'll see it's got some higher numbers. So here we're at 179, and then it comes over to this side, and now we're at 153, and the numbers are going to keep going in its process like this until it gets down to 0. So we'll just wait a minute for that all to happen. And it should be just about done here. All right, so I'm going to get back up here, and everything is nice and loosey-goosey. I'm coming over here, and I'm just going to leave it on full. So as you can see, it's going back on full, and it's tight. All right, so we're going to come over here. Has a nice new digital readout put on the machine. So these guys right here, what this does is this, when you're in automatic mode, when the column is moving in and out, this is what reverses it back and forth, just like it would be on a normal surface grinder. Okay, so when this hits it, it trips it one way. When that one hits it, it trips it the other way. You can manually move it when you have everything out of gear. Oh, and I got it in gear. So there we go. So I am moving the column to set things up. I'm pulling that back out so it spins freely so it don't get hurt. Then you're going to come over here and that engages the transmission, and this one down here is for the clutch. So this set of, I don't know what the heck you call them now, having a brain lapse. But anyhow, this set of stops, I guess you call it, what it does is it has a roller, has a roller cam right there. So when this comes in, that lifts it up, and then it comes back down. And what that does is that goes all the way down to this linkage down in and over here. And you got the spring, and you got this these settings here, and that is the control that goes back to the back side of this, and that is your main height wheel. So every time that clicks, okay, this is set up in thousandths, but when I monkeyed with it, it looks like every click looks like it's about 4/10. I played with it a little bit, and that seems to be about where we're at. Not saying that it's always going to be 4/10. I'm just telling you that every click. So like if I'm going to zero that. I'm going to just try and so if you watch, there's 14, 18. Out. I went too far. I went probably 2 or 3. It's really tough to do. 30. I went too far again on that one. But anyhow, it seems to be about roughly 4/10. You'll have to monkey with it. All right, so let's see the machine in action. We're looking here. That guy there's still nice and solid. So I am going to turn the spindle on. So the spindle is on, it's running. Right there. Now the next thing we would do is we would hit the green button to turn the table on. So it's set up for 180 RPM at the moment. We come back, the table is moving 180 RPM. At least that's what it says here. So now let's say we want to go faster or slower. You just go up. So I am now at 390 RPM. Okay, you can definitely see it's moving faster. If I want to go slower, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to come down. I'm going to go back to 6. Nope, that's too fast, too slow. Oh, that's 120 RPM. Well, I might as well let you see what 120 RPM looks like. But I like that 180. We'll just say 186 for now. Alright, so that all seems to be working just fine. I've got this guy here, so she freewheels. And I'm coming over here and I'm hitting the clutch. I pulled the clutch up. So now if you watch, there it clicked once for the auto down feed. Clicked again on the back side. If you watch, move it manually, or you can set it up for roughing. I've got this one in the back set just quite right. I don't think it's supposed to go all the way up over, like it is right there. See how that one's going up over? I think I got to set my stops a little better on this other side here. But anyhow, it's all going to be, you know, trial and error. You're going to have to monkey with it. So I think that's about it. Nice machine. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them in the comments. You'll see that the lubrication is working well in the back. I'll let that come all the way back here first. We'll get a good view of that. Everything looks nice and wet, as it should. Alright, so I am going to disengage. I'll disengage the gearbox. I'm going to pull this guy. I'm going to pull the head all the way back. Alright, so with that done, now I am going to shut off the table motor. Table motor has stopped. Now I'm going to shut off the main switch, or the main control power switch. And now I'm coming over here and I'm going to shut off the main power. And that is it. Thank you. Goodbye.